Welcome to the Shut Your Mouth Lounge. I'm still on a shitty phone microphone. This will probably be the last one I have to do on the shitty phone microphone, though, because probably be able to work out something with the PC. All right. Addy.
Yes, I am currently trying to mitigate damage. I am.
Oh, shit.
Yes,
Pink.
Oh no.
things are. Life is.
Are
Is
they
your-
good?
Is your computer consuming the
rough?
recording?
Not as far as I can tell yet. It was complaining, but it should be okay. It was complaining.
Okay.
It was complaining about dropping frames on a still image.
Understandable. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, I feel
That's
like
an
that's.
Addy
I feel
PC
like,
classic right
yeah,
there.
I feel like that summarizes my life pretty good. Dropping frames on a still image, like it was.
Pink. Pink.
What was that?
Pink.
Am I still here?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What are you
I'm
trying to
also
say?
Alex. I'm out.
Oh, I got you.
Oh. Oh. Anyways, so Pink, what's you got coming on your channel this week?
I will be having the Aztec playthrough that I was doing. That will all be coming out this week. I was supposed to get most of the episodes out this week, but I was lazy this week and didn't log onto YouTube at all. So yeah, but I did finish that series. It will all be coming out this week and probably a little bit into next week. I don't know. But that's what I have coming out on the channel.
All right, Eddie, you got anything coming out on your channels?
Not yet. I am shooting stuff for later, but yeah, I'll come back to that when we talk about what we did this week.
All right, for later, that's not ominous at all. My channel this week, it will depend on how my internet situation looks, but I will be setting up the PC and the desk, and more than like it's almost guaranteed I will have somehow the internet capacity to probably do a trailer reaction analysis for the inevitable Total War Warhammer 2 final DLC trailer that will be coming out this week, because Crave Assembly always drops the real trailer 2 weeks before the DLC's release, and they already confirmed the DLC is dropping on July 14th, so that's coming this week.
Ooh.
All right. And what is coming out on the FOS channel?
So on Monday, we have Part 5 of Strider. Then
All right.
on Tuesday, we have Gil's Death as its own thing, separate thing, coming out.
Rest in peace, Gil.
We didn't skin him. He wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Then on Friday, we have one of the you can tell that I ran out of names for some of these videos because I was uploading like 30 of them at a time. But episode 7 of Ratchet and Clank is coming out, which is just titled David Bowie. And to be fair, that is what happens in that episode. David Bowie is there, and that's basically the episode. So
his ghost comes back and possesses Pink.
no, we paid him to cameo. He joined the call for like 5 minutes.
From the afterlife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Bowie. He can do whatever he wants.
All
So
right.
yeah, that's all that's coming out on the group channel this week.
Okay, well then, Pink, what you been up to this past week, man?
All right. What have I been up to this past week? Not a lot. I did start watching My Hero Academia, and I finished the first season.
I quit on
Ooh,
season
alright.
2.
Nice.
So is it what people always describe it as, a Japanese love letter to American superhero?
I don't know if I would say it's a love letter to superheroes, quite honestly.
No,
I
Oh.
don't.
It's a Japanese love it's a Japanese love letter to the potential in Naruto's writing that Naruto squandered and they tried to fix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes more sense. Because I feel like the superhero aspect almost comes second to everything else that's going on. I never got any outright feeling that, oh yeah, this is a direct homage to the comics industry on a whole, or even just in the characters in general. It doesn't feel like a love letter to comics in my mind. There are other series that have done that rather well. I mean, Sky High is a very close.
Very similar, yeah.
What's the word? It's a close. Words fail me. It's the closest thing I can get to. It's a close comparison to My Hero Academia, but they handle their homages better, in my opinion. My Hero doesn't really, to my knowledge, have any homages in it that I've noticed.
It does, just not the superheroes. Because my favorite character who got shafted, I forget his name, but it's just this crow dude with a fucking stand for some reason. That's his superpower. He has a stand.
Yeah.
Huh. I have been entirely misinformed about this show. I thought All Might was just like entirely just Superman mixed with Captain America.
No, All Might is just I don't know what to call him. All Might. Yes, he has one large mouth. Anyway,
All Mouth.
Yeah, that's the second season of Big Mouth. But yeah, All Might seems to me more like just a general piss take on Superman. Like, you know, it's like it is a new take on Superman because he's not evil, but it is still a parody of Superman. And that's about it. But like everybody else seems to be doing their own thing or just be heavily rooted in anime otherwise. Like and the entire story structure is very much just Naruto did this, so we're going to do this too, but we're gonna try to do it better.
Yeah.
And I've not seen Naruto, so I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I'll say that's a fair assessment.
Has Bakugo has Bakugo been kidnapped by the evil people yet?
I don't. Maybe. No, I don't think so. Not really.
Okay, Bakugo. It may be season. What is this accent? It may be season 2 then. But Bakugo is kidnapped by the evil people of the season, which I think changes every season, and that is very very much just heavily just freaking them ripping on the Sasuke retrieval arc and how much it sucked.
Yeah, I can definitely see the Naruto similarities now that you point that out with Bakugo and Deku.
Yeah, Midoriya.
So, yeah.
I like how freaking a lot of people are like, oh, Bakugo is nothing wrong. Like, Bakugo really is the Sasuke of this show because Sasuke killed a shit ton of people. Bakugo told Midoriya to kill himself when they were like 5.
Right.
Admittedly, there's a bit of a difference between just saying something really mean and then actually killing people.
Well, yeah, but the stakes are kind of smaller in My Hero Academia.
A tad.
I don't think anyone's straight up murdered people yet. Like even the evil guys. They might have said that like one of the people in season 3 might have killed a dude, but everybody else is just high school drama shit, more or less.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway,
I would say the heroic side of it would be more in line if Japan was kind of meshing up the comic book industry with professional wrestling, if I had to describe it. It's like there seems to be more similarities between professional wrestling and My Hero Academia than there does with anything regarding comic books. But Japanese comic books could be much different from the American ones, and there could be homages to their superhero standards that fly over my head because I'm not familiar with that.
I don't think mangas particularly have like superheroes. It's usually just like
I didn't think so either.
Yeah, go ahead.
What about Sentai?
Yeah, Sentai is a thing, but Sentai is a TV series. That's not a comic thing.
Well, they don't make Sentai manga?
I don't think so. I've never heard of it.
Weird. Huh.
There is
they definitely make some Spider-Man
aspects in Japan.
Yeah, I was about to say that they do make Western comic book characters into manga, because Spider-Man and Batman have a manga, and I have read the 60s Batman manga. It was really funny. Batman shot a guy, but yeah, like
something was lost in translation there.
yeah. I mean, I guess they could have been trying to do like a 40s interpretation of Batman before he got the "I don't kill people" rule.
Right.
Well, the thing you got to keep in mind is that around that time period, I don't think it would have been really thought of as a Batman thing to just say no guns. I think that more so is just that no superheroes used guns at that time because, like, a big part of the reason why Batman got so neutered was because of the censorship of the 50s.
Mm-hmm.
Which, of course, eventually got undone, and Batman went to being, grim and edgy, but he never picked back up guns, and it just became an associated thing of Batman. Well, he doesn't use guns,
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, like usually they might freaking adapt Western comic book characters, but there's no real superheroes from what I can tell, because usually superheroes are just like people. And I don't like it, it's kind of, like it's sort of different, but not really, because like it really is a thing of like, oh, instead of Spider-Man we have fucking Ichigo Kurosaki.
Yeah.
I mean, Japanese media still loves the idea, though, of like the high school student by day saving the world by night thing, which is very
Yes.
superhero,
Exactly what I pointed out. Literally the dude's life story, at least as long as Bleach is good.
Wait, I thought Ichigo was like, I thought Bleach was like samurai, like.
Bleach is the story of like a 17-year-old boy who dies or not dies, something death appears because the Shinigami are death, and then he gets recruited because he injures one of the deaths, and then wacky things ensue as he becomes super death.
But isn't everyone like wearing like medieval period?
Yes, because
clothing?
that is usually portrayed as wearing old-timey clothes. So all of the death people wear old-timey clothes. But there's also like slice of life modern day stuff, and even the people who work as deaths wear normal modern day clothes in those.
I have never seen or even got a fucking whiff of that. This whole time I thought Bleach was set in like the fucking Sengoku era.
No, Bleach is super modern day. Well, okay, Bleach is super 2000s. That is a very good description of Bleach. Bleach is very super 2000s.
Yeah, I definitely got that.
But yeah, like Bleach was good until like the third arc, and there's 17 arcs.
That's a lot of arcs.
I actually don't know.
Okay, you can't tell me Goku isn't a superhero.
Oh no, I'm not saying Ichigo is not a superhero. I'm saying that he does fit the thing. I'm just saying that like usually freaking like they don't call them superheroes. They don't like make the distinction of superhero. It's just this manga character has superpowers and that one character doesn't.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of characters that would like be considered something along the lines of the superhero formula. And
there's many. Goku, Ichigo would definitely be Luffy, Naruto, basically most shonen protagonists. Really?
Oh, I wouldn't consider One Piece superhero at all. They're a pirate crew roaming around the seas.
I don't know. Their powers seem like freaking powerful enough, and they do seem to be well intentioned. Which, yeah.
But in my head though, I just think of like the definitive superhero thing, not so much as superpowers, but as relatively modern day, or just a person who lives in relative society, and then also does superhero things, fighting big world threats. Because like Batman doesn't have any superpowers.
Yeah. Naruto definitely counts.
What about the? Oh no, go ahead. Let's get off this topic because this is just kind of splitting hairs.
All right, but yeah, Naruto definitely counts though, because freaking like Madara, like Naruto is set during the modern day, even though it's a really big cop out for Kishimoto to just include modern day technology in fucking Sengoku era Japan. Naruto is technically set during the modern day for some reason, and
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah. I mean,
which like, makes even less sense.
The show forgets that it's entering the modern day, aside from the times when freaking they have like walkie-talkies and Bluetooth technology and shit like that.
Doesn't Boruto introduce like a bunch of
Yeah,
mech walkers and shit?
Yeah, Boruto is better about the technology thing, but it's also a thing of like, oh, Naruto freaking stopped closing off Japan, and now they're importing technology. I guess I don't know.
Ah, okay.
But
Hang
yeah.
on. Isn't like, in addition to like the 5 ninja clans, weren't there a bunch of samurai clans in Naruto too?
Well, there's this big piece of land which is not Japan, but there's this big piece of land which is ruled by the samurai clans, and the samurai clans own the ninjas basically. So the ninja clans are living in the samurai lands, and they work for the samurai. But the ninjas also keep up their own politics and their own borders, but the samurai also rule over them, and it's very complicated. I don't get it. They never explain it very well.
Well, I mean, in real life, the ninja were pretty well the peasant assassins that worked for the nobility, correct? And spies.
Yeah, more or less, yeah.
So then, yeah, logically speaking, the ninja clans would be owned by the samurai clans, you know?
Yeah. But like the weird thing is that like there would be like they would
then
be
again, why would there be ninja clans? Because then it would be like, well, I'm so and so, son of so and so, and it's like, well, your dad was a fucking ninja, so I should know not to trust you. I'm using too much logic
there
for
were
Naruto.
ninja clans in real life. There were at least 2 that we know of. Because the Ego were
Yeah,
one,
but I
and
would think
there
you'd
was also
wanna-
another one. I forget which one.
Yeah, but I think you'd want to hire just random Joes off the street, though, because they wouldn't be expected.
Well, you could hire random Joes off the street, but there were also people like the Eagle clan who actually trained to be very good at espionage and shit. Like if you wanna rough a guy up, then you hire random Joes. If you want to kill a fucking daimyo in his sleep, then you hire the actually trained people who have been dedicating their life to it. And both are technically ninjas.
All right, I'm gonna mute for just a second.
All right. So Pink,
How dare you?
Continue.
Fuck you.
He lost the argument, so he's leaving.
What a coward! Unbelievable. This is a first on the Shut Your Mouth Lounge.
But yeah, anyway, continue, Pink, about My Hero Academia.
Continue.
Or whatever.
My Hero
really.
Academia. Yeah. I watched the first season. I got a little bit in the second season, but not very far. Like maybe 1 or 2 episodes. I don't know. And I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun take. I'm not fond of anime, and I don't like the high school thematics or background. It's never been my thing. I understand why it's such a popular genre to write and to watch, but it's not for me. So I would say it's actually really saying something good about the show if I've been able to watch it and withstand it all, despite having the cards stacked against it. So, all in all, I enjoyed it. I thought it had some fun takes. That big final boss villain Nomu at the end of the first season.
And the dude or the other one?
The other one with the exposed brain.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. Why did they not just hit his brain? It's exposed. I don't understand.
Too easy. You don't want to cheat.
Yeah, I guess it wouldn't be honorable.
Yeah, I quit. I quit after the second season because I noticed the same thing happening in this one that happened in Naruto that I really disliked in Naruto, which is they introduced all of these very interesting, very fun side characters, and now let's ignore them and instead focus on Bakugo and Midoriya.
Yeah, I kind of worried that they're gonna go down that route, so understandable.
Maybe season 3 is better about it. I don't know. Season 3 was still releasing around the time I watched season 2, but like, yeah, like, you know, it is the Naruto issue of like, I like a lot of these characters, just not the main people.
Yep.
So like when they let the other characters breathe, I like the show, and usually they don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That makes sense because Volcano is the one who got me to the show, and I think all my siblings at this point have seen the show, and they all have high opinions on the show, and they all have favorite characters, and nobody likes Deku or Bakugo. So I'm gonna assume. Well, I don't think they dislike them, but nobody's told me, "Oh yeah, that's my favorite. That's the best character in the show." So I'm assuming, they're kind of just the standard vanilla sibling rivals story
Yeah.
going on there. Nothing interesting, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Uh,
You're making it sound like you're being overrun by weebs over there.
I mean, in a way, I am, but not quite.
I am overtaking Pink's life slowly. First it was the furries, now the weebs.
Oh no! Oh no!
Pink will be
I don't like
assimilated.
where this is going.
But yeah.
All right.
Continue.
Continue. I don't think I had much more to say on that. I enjoyed what I saw.
Just in general, I meant, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I will probably continue watching the show. We'll see. If it gets to the Naruto point, then yeah, I'll definitely be dropping out as well. But is there anything else I did this week? I don't believe so. I did all the recording for the Aztec playthrough that I had coming out later this week, so that ate up decent majority of my free time. I'm looking around to see. I played a lot of Smash Bros. This week, actually, but nothing new to note there, because we still haven't gotten our last characters, which is sad.
I gotta repeat this again. You didn't dispute me last time, and I just want to hear your take on it. But I just think that Nintendo is so superior about these things that the last character has to be like just some asshole from a Nintendo game, you know?
I think it'll be Toad.
Toad would be. I'd actually okay. There's a lot of Nintendo characters that would make me mad to see be the final character Fire Pass 2. I would love to see Toad.
Guys, what if the last character added to Smash ever is Sakurai?
Well, I guess it would be fitting.
It would be cool.
Yeah, the Smash characters have abused him indirectly for 20 years. Now they get to abuse him directly.
Yeah. Sakurai fights with his two stands, Master and Crazy Hand.
Every other move that he has is a fucking reference to King of Fighters.
Yes. Sakurai, most of Sakurai's moves are replaced by Master and Crazy and doing shit, and the ones he retains are just Terry Echo Fighter moves.
Oh man, did you guys see the people saying like getting angry when Kazuya was added? Because again, they're like, "Oh, who heard of these fighting game characters?" And I was like, "Isn't Tekken like the most popular fighting game in the world right now?"
No,
is it?
Technically speaking, the most popular fighting game is Brawlhalla.
That's true.
It's
the most popular fighting game that isn't free to play, though. What is that?
That is Tekken. Yes.
Is it really
Okay.
Tekken?
Yes, it really is Tekken.
Wow.
Yeah, Tekken, like
I
Tekken
always
7
thought
has
they were
been
D tier.
No,
Oh.
Tekken 7 has been the peak of Tekken.
That shocks me, to be quite honest. I
Maximilian,
didn't think Tekken was big at all. I knew it was bigger than King of Fighters, but I didn't think it was even close to touching anything else.
I mean, you remember how popular Soul Calibur was back in the day. We all know Heihachi. Our
I
old
did
friend.
not have it on the PS. Which one had Heihachi? Xbox or PS2? Either way, I had it on GameCube.
Oh, you fucking loser.
We had Link, dude.
Yeah, you did have Link. Why are you acting like it's a brag?
It is a brag. Are you gonna tell me that you would have rather had Heihachi or Spawn?
Well, I would have rather had Heihachi. I'll admit Link is better than Capeless Spawn. But I would have rather had Heihachi, yes.
What is wrong with you?
Heihachi's fucking sick, man. He fights demons and gods with his bare hands, and he's just a normal dude.
He's an old dude with stupid looking hair. What's to like?
That's right. His hair is stupid looking because he's got balls.
Tune back next week when we upload the forum of Solitude final as I in full fursuit stand in front of a camera and say Pink and Alex are no longer friends.
Yeah. Heihachi just makes some people drift apart. Okay, I gotta ask, Addy, which console did you have Soul Calibur 2 on?
Nothing.
Don't say Xbox. Oh shit, you're right. You skipped Soul Calibur 2. You started with Soul Calibur 3.
Yeah, no. I started with Soul. I started with Soul Edge, Then I skipped Soul Calibur 2, got Soul Calibur 3, and then 5.
You skip every other Soul Calibur.
I guess.
Okay.
I did skip 6. You're right.
Yeah. We gotta wait till Soul Calibur 7, then Addy will get back in.
Yeah.
All right. So I gotta say this. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this, but you know how in Soul Calibur there was the unlockable weapons, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And every character could unlock a version of Soul Calibur or Soul Edge, depending on whether they were good or evil. They could unlock a joke weapon, and they could unlock like a super ultimate unique weapon for them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So for most of the characters, it was like, oh, here's Maxie's super nunchucks. They fucking breathe fire or some shit. I don't know. You know what Heihachi's whole weapon selection was? Bracers, right? Just
Yeah.
gauntlets he put on his wrists. His final super ultimate variation was just taking off the bracers
Nice.
because he was using them as weights to hold himself back. I just love that shit. Look, man, Heihachi's the fucking best. I don't care.
I don't believe you, but okay.
Heihachi made you like. Well, I prefer playing as Dragonov and Brian Fury for their playstyle. I would overall say Heihachi's my favorite Tekken character.
But that game has Akuma, right?
For now, until the IP runs out.
No,
I don't think
that's not that one. Akuma's the big angry fire guy, right? I was talking about the bear.
Yeah, he was talking about just Kuma. No, just Koom.
Okay.
It does have Kuma. It does have Kuma. I'll concede Kuma. But here's the thing.
Heihachi trained Kuma.
Heihachi trained Kuma.
All right, well, he's a winner in my book now. Never mind. I take back everything bad I ever said about him.
Yeah, I think even in
He
PlayStation
receives
All-Stars,
a thumbs up from me.
in PlayStation All-Stars, I think Kuma was even Heihachi's like summon character that he summoned in to help him in some moves.
Yeah.
And like they do the same move at the same time, and it's of course great because Kuma's doing like crazy kung fu shit that you would not expect the bear to do. So it was awesome. PlayStation All Stars had potential, man. If only they'd make a 2 that didn't have bizarre gameplay design choices.
An actual roster.
And an actual roster. That would be pretty good, cool too.
Hey, the roster had some definite winners there. There were some definite losers too, but there were some winners.
25% of the roster was all right, and then there was the other 75%.
I mean, off the top of my head, the only ones I can think of that are just like, what are the stuff like? What was it, Skyhawk or whatever that dude was?
I don't know. I'm thinking of like Fat Princess and shit.
I need to Google up the roster for that.
Well, Fat Princess wasn't from the biggest game ever, but it was a cute character. Like, we got to keep in mind, Smash Brothers isn't just all Nintendo All-Stars. It's got a lot of losers and characters that you wouldn't know, but those characters usually end up being awesome anyway. Like, would any of us went in to a Melee asking for Mr. Game & Watch?
I didn't play Melee, so...
Probably not.
I'm just saying, like, Smash really benefits from the weirdos, so it makes sense, PlayStation All-Stars, let's get some weirdo characters in. The only one, of course, okay.
This list can't be right, because Delson Rowe is included, and I'm pretty sure he came out with the later generation of consoles.
Yeah, that's correct. You are reading a fan roster list.
That makes sense.
Also, that game sucked, so there's no way Sony would go with him as the infamous representative. Then again, they did go with fucking Dino instead of Dante, so... Or Dante instead of Dante, there we go.
Dino from Flintstones
he had a
replaced
game
Dante.
coming out.
He did have a game coming out around that time, but it was a stupid game. And he has a stupid face. I don't like him.
I like when people post their All-Stars 2 rosters, and they include Wish characters and also Dante and Virgin.
Yeah. Don't even replace him with Classic Dante, even though Classic Dante is back and has fully replaced Reboot Dante. No. Include him again, and now also add the fucking Reboot Virgil. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was confused when it listed Zeus as DLC, but then I remembered God of War. It's like, oh
What if,
yeah, just Zeus casually strolling into PlayStation All Stars.
what if
Okay.
Ninja Theory release a DMC Devil May Cry 2 and it has Noro?
What? Who?
Noro instead of Nero.
Oh, Noro. Yeah. No, no, no. Nero wouldn't be Nero. He'd be Nilo or Nello. There we go. Have I ever
Nero
told you guys
Angelo.
the Nello story with Devil May Cry?
No.
So, one of the bosses in Devil May Cry 1 was in the original Japanese named Nero Angelo, or at least that was the intention, which translates, of course, to
Oh, that's
Black
why.
Angel.
That's why Nello Angelo is Nello Angelo.
Uh-huh. But when they brought him over to the West, there's confusion because Japanese puts R and L on the same letter. So when they brought him over, he turned into Nello Angelo in the English version of Devil May Cry 1, which is, of course, really stupid sounding. But nonetheless, one of the big twists of the end of Devil May Cry 1 is that Nello Angelo is actually a possessed Virgil, which Dante kills, but he doesn't realize it was Virgil until after he killed him. Either which way, when Nero came back and when Nero got introduced in Devil May Cry 4, for one thing, it was immediately his name was Nero, as in a reference to Nero Angelo, which worked for the Japanese speaking audience, but not for the English speaking audience. Because they were like, that's Nello Angelo, what? And of course, the whole thing about Nero being, the Roman emperor who was most famous for discriminating against Christians, and Devil May Cry 4 is basically you versus the Pope, so I guess it works there, but whatever. Oh, and also the fact that Nero is the Roman emperor who was commonly suspected to have been the basis for the Antichrist, and Nero is literally the son of the devil in this case. So,
Oh,
Devil May Cry is stupid, but at least it tries.
And also Dante Alighieri.
Yeah. Yeah, which always bugged the shit out of me. It's Dante and Virgil, as in the Divine Comedy. But like, Devil May Cry, that's pretty well the only relevance the Divine Comedy has to the Devil May Cry series. It's weird.
I guess they just thought the names were cool.
Anyways, yeah, they are pretty cool names. They are pretty cool names. Virgil is a very cool name, which it's sad that they got stuck onto one of the lamest wrestling characters.
Yeah.
what? How dare you? Virgil, international wrestling superstar.
Oh, God. Don't inflate his ego. It's big enough already. All right. What were we talking about? We were talking about Smash. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were.
All right. Did you try any new characters, Pink?
I've tried all the characters at this point. It's fun.
I've not
Yeah.
bought Fighter Pass 2, so I haven't got to touch Steve or Sephiroth. How are they?
I really like Sephiroth. I don't like Steve. It's hard to really explain his kit. It's that he has to use his neutral B to dig resources, and then he has to craft his items at his little workbench in order to get any actual fighting power. So all around, I would say he's probably the worst character on the roster because so much of his kit is designed in that in order for him to be effective, he needs his diamond sword, and if he doesn't have that, he's kind of just a punching bag. It's very easy to get him in a spot that he will not want to be in because he's just going to get totally wrecked. It's an easy one-on-one match. It's a terrible matchup in free-for-all with 4 players. If you go into 8 players and pick Steve and hide in a corner, maybe you can farm out the resources you need and just kind of hope everyone forgets you and you can come in for a victory at the end. But other than that, I would say Steve is hands down the worst character, a worst performing character they've ever introduced in the series. So yeah, not a lot of bright spots for Steve.
Is it bad that this makes me want to play him?
I told my little brother that I was gonna start maining Steve just to make sure I could become good at him and I'd become the only person in the world who actually plays Steve unironically. But after a while, even I had to decide, nope, I don't want to play Steve anymore. I like to win.
Heh. To me, there's a certain magic to a character that's not supposed to suck, but sucks in a lot of ways, but you can make work. Like, Pichu doesn't appeal to me because Pichu was just explicitly designed from the beginning to be like, oh, hey, this character is shit. We don't want this character to accidentally be good. We don't want this character to be good in any context. We want this character to just be shit, right?
Yeah.
Which is why they nerfed him so much after release, because at release Pichu was actually playable.
Yeah.
I'm more of a fan of
At release,
Jigglypuff.
Pichu was like one of the top tiered ones.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Pikachu on top and Pichu slightly below him.
Which was so much more interesting than just having Pichu be shit, because Pichu has to hurt himself to do things. So if Pichu's good, then him damaging himself makes up for him being good, you know?
Yeah.
It makes him a very high skill ceiling character, you know?
Yeah. But that would also be balanced, and Nintendo doesn't want that.
That's true. Which even Shigeru Miyamoto is like, not Shigeru Miyamoto, what am I talking about? Shigeru Miyamoto isn't saying anything nowadays, probably, except for, could I get more porridge? Somebody help me put together my walker. Yeah, even Sakurai is like, I think I've for years like made jokes about Sakurai not wanting things to be balanced and wanting things to be a stupid party game. Well, like Sakurai himself apparently is getting pretty sick of that, given the stuff he started saying during the Nintendo Directs, like, "Oh yeah, fighting game frame data." Well, clearly I wouldn't care about this, would I? Like fucking pretty well rolling his eyes at the camera, like I still give a shit about fighting games, you dumbasses. Which
Yeah, like from what I've heard about Sakurai, it seems like he cares about fighting games a lot. He just doesn't see Smash as a fighting game. And considering that his word is the last one, the second to last one, really.
I think he's changed his stance though, because he's
Maybe
put a lot more emphasis on that. Though I think honestly, I can't speak about balance with the other Smash characters because I've never really noticed there being much balance issues in Smash Ultimate. Smash Ultimate seems very well balanced to me, except for Ridley. Is Ridley still trash? I haven't put enough time in lately. Like none of us here in our household play Ridley because he's so trash.
I wouldn't say he's complete trash. His he's not great, but he does have one of the best forward smashes in the game. On
the slide,
power. So yeah, the power level of his smash attacks is off the charts, but on a whole, I would say he's still not terribly good. I don't think he's bottom tier anymore, but I haven't looked at a tier list in years, so I don't know. But I wouldn't.
Well, I wouldn't say launch.
Yeah, launch Ridley sucked. That was abysmal. I would not say he's as bad at launch as he was at launch.
Oh man, that was such a good feeling when it was launch and things actually seemed really balanced. Which of course, things always seem balance is always off when it first launches because people haven't fully figured out the characters yet. But it was so nice at first when it was like everyone's viable except Ridley.
Yep.
Inkling was considered pretty strong. I remember that, but she was pretty well the only exception.
Yeah.
Which they did wind up nerfing her into the ground, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. All right. What do you like about Sephiroth, actually? Because to me, he seemed like a pretty, I don't want to say boring, but pretty boring character, except for his wall stab.
To me, I kind of like the gimmick to it. It's not something that's immediately noticeable, the one winged angel form, but it is something that's fun to see pop out, and then you get that feeling in your brain. You're like, oh yeah, I remember. Now I can do more damage. So that's a fun aspect of him. Other than that, it's just his kit overall. Between the balances of projectiles and up close combat, which most of his kit is designed for up close encounters, but with his projectile options,
I was going to say I assumed he was good at mid range because of how long his sword is.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, that's a fair assessment. I guess it's not close range. It's more mid to long range with him, but everything mostly comes down to the mid range. because his side B, that's the one where he kind of latches those little bombs onto you that float around and then explode. And his neutral B is the one that you charge to more or less create a nuclear bomb. Those are very fun to combo together if you can get it right. I'd say Sephiroth is fun because he is such a strong contender, but also is balanced because he's very floaty. So he packs a mean punch, and if you can get all your things off correctly, it's very rewarding. But you're always at risk of, oh yes, I could potentially die at 46% damage if somebody hits me with something really heavy. But if I don't, there's plenty of opportunities you can make for yourself to get really fast kills. Because he can do so much damage in such a short amount of time. And a lot of his attacks have very good knockback, so he's kind of an all or nothing character. You're gonna do very well with him and completely demolish your opponent, or you can get your ass handed to you and you're not gonna be able to recover from that. It's give and take with Sephiroth, and I really enjoy the playstyle.
Yeah, those kind of high risk, high reward characters are pretty well always fun, because even if you lose, it's kind of just laughs. Like, that's what I get when I sign up for this character.
Yeah, he's a deadlier Jigglypuff.
Yeah. Oh man, Jigglypuff is great. Now I want to play Smash because I want to play Jigglypuff.
All
right.
While you two were discussing Sephiroth, I just had the freaking the funniest picture regarding Smash to me, which would be like freaking Sakurai doing the direct for the last character, and then he makes the meme real, and the last character is fucking Older Soul, and then he just shows the Tyrant Wave input, which is the same from freaking XX. He just goes fuck you, and then it ends. Anyway.
All right, now it's time to show you the input to Order Soul's Final Smash. And then Sakurai just sits there for like a beat, staring blankly at the screen, dabs, and then suddenly the screen cuts.
That's what I'm saying. He shows this final Smash, and it's a Dragon install. It's the input to Dragon install from XX. He just goes fuck you, and then the stream ends.
He doesn't even show the input, is what would be funnier to me. Like, it's honestly such a ridiculous input, he doesn't even bother to explain it or show it on screen. He just is like, all right, that's it.
The input is on a poster behind him. You need to figure
it
out
takes
what
up the entire wall.
Yeah.
Oh man, thank God it's an instant kill. Thank God you can spin meter on other things in that game.
Yeah.
All right, Eddie, what you been up to the past week, man?
So, or the pretty much the only video game related thing I've done, I have started recording Assassin's Creed 4. My favorite.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean,
is there sailing?
I mean, I say it's my favorite. I genuinely, it's not my least favorite anymore. Odyssey has done enough to dislodge Assassin's Creed 4.
I knew you liked Kenway, whereas I don't think you're terribly fond of Cassandra or the dude from Odyssey. So yeah, I guess it's a pretty obvious conclusion.
Yeah, the Assassin's Creed 4 has pretty good writing because I like most of the characters in Assassin's Creed 4. It's just everything else about Assassin's Creed 4 that is like Odyssey. I don't think there's one part I like. Like, I mean, I'm sure that there's something that I could point out that I like about it, but I'm also sure that I could point out like 5 other games that do it better. So. But anyway, so yeah, I started doing that. It has been very interesting because I've been trying to force myself to speak in a higher tone just because you weren't here last week. But like usually when I do the whole lying bit, it's not on purpose. Like to me, it sounds obvious that I'm lying about, or like I'm setting up something for a joke, but apparently not. So I've been trying to force myself to speak on a higher register in recordings, just because, yeah, maybe it'll make it more obvious. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's like there's this side effect of that, which is that sometimes when I just stop paying attention too much, I just start freaking slipping into the furry real hard, and you can tell because I like. Because it just stops being speaking in a higher register and starts going into the freaking into that like flamboyant lispy accent. I don't know what to describe it as.
Yeah.
And man, am I really fucking bored with Assassin's Creed 4. I mean, this is my 5th playthrough, so you know. But I complain about that, but I'm still playing the game because like I am bored, but at the same time, some of the content that I make and I am making, I do like enough that it's worth it to sit through me being bored for like, I don't know, 15 minutes every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But there's also some things that I'm not sure about. Like it is once again the thing where like I'm enjoying doing the recordings somewhat. I mean, like I'm enjoying doing the commentary, if not the gameplay. But sometimes I feel like it slips too much into the cringe. And I don't know. Yeah.
I guess only you can judge that.
But
sometimes,
yeah. Go ahead.
Sometimes part of the inherent thing of entertainment content, and especially with LPs, though, is embarrassing yourself on camera, though.
Yeah,
which
true.
is never enjoyable, but it is what it is, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there is one joke that I like that I steal from the internet, but I do find it very funny still, which is just whenever you choke, like whenever I choke someone out. Well, okay, it's only happened twice, and one of those times was just because I wanted a better take than the first one, but there's this part where I do stealth, and I just grab a dude by the neck, and like I don't know why, but I just find the whole thing of like choking a person out a struggle cuddle.
I've not heard that one.
It may be a furry thing. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, for what it's worth, the majority, like, if somebody were to watch the content of the Super Best Friends, Achievement Hunter, the Yogscast, The Simpsons, and Christmas Vacation, they would discover the source of 90% of my jokes.
I mean, my thing isn't even like just the stealing of jokes, because whatever, like everybody references shit they like. I mean, most of my references come from like the Scadsberry, which is a channel that neither of you have seen and neither of you will see probably ever. But in fact,
virtually,
yeah. Go ahead.
Like virtually everything is, in a sense, stealing from something that came before it. Like there's a quote that I don't remember what the exact origin of that says like. Creativity is being good at hiding your inspirations.
Yeah. But there's also another thing that's happened in the most recent recording session of it that I like. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. Because I find it kind of funny, but I find it kind of sad that the shoots in which I'm dying are the very best I ever had, or whatever the fuck the lyrics are.
Yeah.
But no. But like,
it's a very, very mad world.
Yup. But like, I hold
what they say.
While doing commentary for shit, especially when it's the three of us. I mean, when it's the three of us, it's easier because I don't need to fill out as much hair. But like, whenever I do commentary, I do hold back some stuff because it is just crossing a line. But like, I legitimately got so fucking fed up and bored at the same time with Assassin's Creed 4 that I just started fucking growling.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Nice.
Okay, there we go.
Did we fall?
Yes.
Oh,
all right.
Thankfully, it was a small distance, but yes.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's. I stopped it very fast because I actually noticed. But hey, probably don't do that. Not on air, or at all, really, but not on air, definitely.
See.
Yeah.
For the ladies of the night.
You cut out on my end, so.
I said, save it for the ladies of the night.
I don't know how much prostitutes are into like freaking. I wanted to Corey Taylor. Yes, Corey Taylor's
That don't
was
necessarily. That don't necessarily mean prostitutes.
true. But yeah. So like it's a thing where I'm like I have like 5 episodes already edited because that's all I've recorded so far, and I need to export them. But I don't know if I'll actually fucking release it ever. Cause yeah. So that's all I've done with video games wise. Freaking suffer with Assassin's Creed 4.
I gotta step out for a quick second.
All right,
All right.
then let's see. Oh, what else did I do? Because I did a good bit of stuff, but I don't remember most of it apparently. But first things first, I guess. This isn't something that I had to show to the audience, so hey, it works out.
Hey.
Where the fuck did I put it? I did end up redrawing the Strider series thumbnail for when that will need to exist.
Nice.
So, do we? There we go.
Nope, I'm in the wrong text channel.
Ah,
Ah,
boy.
excellent.
What is happening?
pictures.
Oh no.
What?
Pow.
Yeah. In Strider, the concept art pickup is a POW block.
Weird. Okay.
It's a send up to Capcom's old thing of putting POW blocks into every game. Apparently, I looked it up.
Well, that just makes me think of Mario Brothers, the original.
Yeah.
Like that's ancient right there. Not even Super Mario. No, original
Original,
Mario
yeah.
Bros.
I actually really need to.
That's some ancient geezer bullshit.
Yeah. I really need to look at this thing on my phone too, because like I figured out a way to start drawing on my bigger freaking what's the word my bigger display. The issue with that is that the display is of dubious resolution, and so I don't know if shit's squashed or not. Because like my smaller screen is 1912 by 1200, and my bigger screen is 1380 some by 722. So
Oh my.
yeah. So I can't properly draw in freaking in 19 or what? In 69. Yeah, that's the one, 16:9. The proper aspect ratio that most things use nowadays. Cuz like it's going to be deformed one way or another. But anyway,
It's gonna be what?
deformed.
Deformed.
Deformed. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I did that. I don't know about. Yes. I don't know about Pink.
I don't know about no.
Pink, do you know about maybe?
I don't have a clue about maybe.
All right,
Shit.
we got our bases
I
covered.
think Carly Drake Jepsen said she'd call me, but then she said maybe as well, so. Oh wait, no, I think she was telling me to call her. I don't remember how that song goes. Never mind, my joke is ruined.
No, she's telling you to call her. You fool. You've passed up the opportunity. I don't know why you'd want it, but yes.
She possesses eyes. Pink, what else do you want?
This is a good point, you know? Some chicks only have one eye. I don't know what to feel about that. It's actually kind of cool now that I think about it, so never mind.
You gotta have.
Some people are into the big muscle Cyclops chicks, you know.
I mean, you gotta have more strict standards than just wanting eyes, or else you'll get a girl who has eyes without a face.
Oh, that's
Unity.
a good song!
Oh God.
Anyway. So I made that. I was also like really bored, I guess. So I did this too.
Oh, shit.
Basic human interaction.
I don't need to use memes anymore. I just draw them. It's practice.
Trick is you start by talking to the knife, and then people won't look at you so weird, right?
Yeah, definitely. No. People will start looking super weird though when I start licking it.
Oh no.
But what do you do with the knife after you cut the jam with it?
Throw it into the bin. Dispose of the evidence.
The only rational response. My stainless steel knife must go in the bin immediately after cutting through jam with it.
Yes.
I have gone through that fucking tweet of the budget, and it's like $60 on various pieces of fruit and vegetables. $2,000 stainless steel knives. Please help me. I am going horribly into debt. Fix my budget. Spend less on knives. No.
The knives stay. They are a necessity.
Yeah.
I also did try to remake my old dong drawing.
What?
Yes. It's not good. It's better than the original, but it's still not good.
I should have figured it was Donkey Kong.
Yeah, no, I just drew a fucking dick and then posted it to the Discord.
I'm going to be honest, my brain was so fucking stupid. I was thinking like you were drawing a Chinese dude named Dong or a Chinese coin. No, what was it? The Vietnamese who had a coin called the Dong?
I think so.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. I also, and just to prove that the only thing I draw is furries. Here's Spider-Man. It fucking sucks. It's shit.
It's not bad.
I don't know.
I was really hoping that you were saying it was shit, and because it takes me a while to like go over that page while I'm on my phone to look at things, I was really hoping that I would go over and just see Spoderman.
I'm half on chop off Spoderman. But yeah, I was going to ask something about art, but I forget what.
Hell, no, don't look at me.
You're our pro here, Alex.
Eh.
Oh yeah, pink. I know the question. Do I like is the only way to improve consistency just to draw more? Because that's what I figured, but I would like confirmation.
That's about it.
Okay.
Draw more and look at what you're drawing. No. It's all practice. Practice your art and practice what you're referencing. And that's about it. Other than that, there might be some secret that I'm not privy to, but that's how I did it.
All right.
We have entirely different learning styles. You guys are both learn by doing. I'm do by learning.
I mean, I did a lot I did a lot of do by learning because I've been watching a guy from Newgrounds called Jezza. You might have played some of his games because he was apparently big back on Newgrounds, but yeah, like he's been just doing drawing shit for the past 6 years more, but that's I've been watching him for around 6 years. So like most of the art shit that I know, the theoretical stuff, I know from watching his shit and just stealing the ideas.
Yeah.
And now he's just trying to actually like improve my art, my freaking line work more or less, because like on the other like I mean, I need to improve my everything, but line work seems to be the most important part, you know?
Right.
Anyway, continue, Davia.
Wait, I was talking?
Yeah. You're talking about like learning by doing, or doing by learning, yeah.
I don't know if that phrase necessarily works, but I made it up anyways. Uh, yeah, I'm more so the watch a video, YouTube video, look up an online guide, read a book kind of guy. I'll learn by doing it time, but like I had to learn how to. There was probably a solid decade of my life where I was probably pretty slow on figuring out how to figure things out, right?
Yeah.
So, reading books, watching videos helps me to learn how to learn. And I'd say I'm pretty decent now at picking up like game mechanics and such in video games, but only because I've watched videos, from people who know how to play video games.
Aha.
Enough videos from Core A, enough videos from Sajam on fighting games, enough videos from Potato McWhiskey on Civilization, and so on, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I still do the learning style a lot. It is just I just use a supplementary usually. Like when I can when I can do something, then I will like. Usually, if I wanna learn how to do something, then I try to do it as far as I can. Freaking do it at the current moment. If I can't do it, then I go look up how someone else did it, and then I try to use their method, and then just iterate this until it works.
I think you have a better intuition for like inputs and stuff than I do, because like when I try to like, I can make some progress on my own for fighting games, but there's a lot of cases where with stuff like that, like, there's no way in hell I would have ever found out about stuff like tiger kneeing, Kara canceling, option select without videos.
I mean, W, you have to consider from what I understand, you started playing fighting games with like freaking MK9 or something. I played the arcade versions. I played the arcade versions of most Capcom games, so I didn't have a command list. I had to learn the commands by heart.
Injustice 1 was when I started taking fighting games like seriously and tried to actually be good at them. But I've been playing fighting games since probably Soul Calibur 2 when I was 6 years old.
All right. Yeah, I've been playing fighting games since I've been born. So I still have 6 years on you. Like
it's
the first game.
like,
yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I'm 2 or 3 years older than you, right? So it's not exactly that.
Yeah, no, it's not 6 years. It's 4 years, I think, because you're 2 years older than me.
I'm just imagining now, like that how now that Maximilian Dude has had his little daughter, now he just keeps craning her over fight sticks. I'm just imagining like your parents doing that to you, like as an infant.
No, it was natural. That's the funniest part. I just naturally gravitated towards fighting games, because like I remember they tried to teach me how to play like Galaxian and stuff like that. Like those are the first couple games that I actually played, and obviously Super Mario and Adventure Island. But I remember being like, oh, I don't actually like freaking Super Mario. I still don't, by the way. Like it's a weird thing that I respect the first Super Mario Brothers, and I kind of like it because of all the shit it's done. But I can't like, and I will play it, but I won't particularly enjoy it because of just not liking it in my childhood. And I was like, I was in the middle on freaking Adventure Island. The 3 games that I really liked were Contra and 2 Chinese freaking devolutions of Street Fighter 2 and Dragon Ball Shippuden. Those are the games I played the most growing up. So I had a lot of freaking knowledge on Street Fighter, even though I played a bootleg Chinese copy. And after that, I picked up emulating stuff on PC, and I emulated all of the arcade fighting games that I could find, which were mostly just like, which were Alpha 3 and Marvel, both Marvels. I don't know, only Marvel 1. I don't remember Marvel 2. So yeah, Marvel 1, freaking X-Men, whichever one I forget. The one that used the Marvel sprites, really.
That's either Children of the Atom or X-Men versus Street Fighter.
I think I may have played both. I forget.
Yeah, Akuma was in both, so
True. But yeah, like I just went through all of those games, and that's also when I picked up Sam Show 5 Special and stuff like that. So like I just also a sort of King of Fighters, obviously, through that sort of stuff. So yeah, like I have a good bit of fighting game experience of just like trying to figure out people's moves without a comment list and shit like that. So that may be why I have an easier time picking up on the inputs.
Yeah, maybe.
So what else did I do? Did I feel like I freaking drew something else, but I forget. Either way, W, this is good news.
What's up?
My family stopped shipping me with you.
Okay.
Just figured you should know.
I'd prefer to stop hearing about it altogether, honestly.
I mean, you will now.
Yeah.
There was something I was going to bring up. What was it? Fucking hell. My memory is great, y'all. It's super good.
It's top tier.
Yeah. Blimey. I don't know.
All right, then.
Yeah, let's continue. So, W, your week.
Well, been a lot of loading shit into trucks and cars. Not quite as much unloading shit out of trucks and cars as I would have liked. So, we own too much shit. The moving process always is what makes you realize, like, oh, Jesus, we own too much bullshit. We own too much bullshit. We owned too much for the house we were already living in, honestly, in hindsight. And, house we're living in now, house that we've just moved into, is, less than half the size. At most. Uh-huh. So we're gonna have to start getting rid of some shit. Yeah. Excuse me.
Isn't it?
The process, I will say that I do like where we moved to. Much smaller place,
Nice.
as I just said. But we do own it. It's not a rental, which isn't much of a big deal for me, but for my parents, that's takes away a bit of paranoia, because they're always worried that one day the homeowners association or something would come in for a surprise inspection or something, which would not be ideal, because on the lease we were only supposed to have 2 dogs, and that was it. And we kept it a very much secret that we also had a cat. So it's nice having that gone, I guess. And it's a small house here, but oh boy, it's a lot of land. It is some, I'm going to assume not too terribly rich guy, but some rich guy's old summer home. And I'm going to assume when I say rich here, I don't mean like Jeff Bezos. I don't even mean like whoever's running, let's say, Target. I'm assuming like, right, I'm the Bass King of Southern Louisiana kind of rich, you know?
Right.
If you want to get a bass lure in Southern Louisiana, I'm your man. That whole ordeal. So it is quite a bit of acreage, and the majority of that is land that's already being used to farm alfalfa. So I can look out the window. Yeah, I can look out the window right now and see a big field of alfalfa. But it is a large property that we own, and for the rest of my family, that is all very nice. And while they were saying going in, we won't get too many animals just in case, we don't like the place and we'll have to sell. I think they've already fallen in love with the place, and this place is going to be turned into a zoo pretty soon. Plans are already being made. Plans are already being spitballed. There we go. Plans are already being spitballed about getting a second cat to protect against vermin, because the cat we already have is terrible at hunting vermin. She is only really good at cultivating mass and cuddling with things. So a second cat that's actually skinnier and deadlier to deal with vermin. Of course, now there's talks about getting more dogs. So We're even talking about getting another Vizsla, which you guys know that I have a Vizsla, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, a rare Hungarian dog. Hitler killed most of them. So a plan has been spitballed about of getting a female Vizsla and breeding them, since there's so few of them, and since they're so rare, they're also incredibly expensive. And since they're so rare, there's not so much that fear of overpopulation that you would get with, like, let's breed bulldogs.
Right.
Like, yeah, there's probably enough bulldogs on the street, guys. Sorry, not bulldogs. What's the one that people breed like mad and they're just everywhere? And they always go to pounds because people are scared shitless of them because the things are vicious as hell.
Terriers.
It's not bulldog. Yeah, bull terriers. There we go. Yeah, there's enough bull terriers in the world, guys. Stop breeding them. For fuck's sakes. Oh boy. Yeah. I think the idea has been thrown around about getting a cow or two. Which is like, holy shit, where are we gonna even fit that? Well, I guess we can fit that now that I think about it.
You just be in the barn.
Ew. Yeah. Well, there is kind of a little like pole barn out there. It's in pretty shit shape. There's a toilet in it. It's a it's a toilet installed with plumbing, but there's no doors. It's just pretty well 3 walls and an opening. And then there's a toilet in the far left corner. And it looks pretty. It's the saddest looking toilet I've seen in a long time. I would not shit in it if my life depended on it. Probably gonna end up doing a lot of work on this place. I don't think we're gonna sell. I think that there's already love going around about this place. Only problem really is, again, not much space in the actual building that's built, which I guess we can expand on it, but I mean, expansion costs money.
Yeah.
True.
And internet, which hopefully Elon Musk will fix that. Hopefully.
Yes.
Not exactly the shining example of consistency, but, you know. So that's pretty well the extent of what I'll say about moving. Other than, I guess I should go ahead and say the reason why I am in this Discord call from a phone instead of on my usual high quality microphone is because while I have my computer, my microphone, my earbuds all within eyesight here, I do not have my desk because we loaded that on a truck that is currently moving without us. And they told us that it had to go to. So it's a service that is hiring trucks that are ordinarily used to ship stuff from across the country, from country to one side of the country to the other, right?
Yeah.
Right.
This is not the truck that takes your groceries to Walmart. This is the truck that takes your groceries to the warehouse, where then the truck takes the groceries from the warehouse to the Walmart.
Right.
But we were able to get a good deal of maybe free. I wasn't paying attention for the whole ordeal because my dad does work in the industry. But nonetheless, they told us, all right, we'll pick your things up on Thursday, and we won't get to your new house until Monday, despite the fact that it's only a 3-hour trip, because that truck is going to be turning its ass around and going up to Alabama and then going back up to Virginia. And it's like, okay, well, this seems horribly inefficient, but okay.
I
guess
I'm
that,
sure
like-
there's some logical reason behind it, but I don't understand it.
Well, I think what it is that the driver or the truck cab is probably, the truck itself is probably needed down there, but not the trailer. So the guy's going to drive down to Alabama, unhook the trailer from the truck, hook his truck up to some other trailer, which is probably going to ship actual freight or something. And then
Right.
some other asshole from Alabama's shop is then going to hook up the truck to the trailer and then move that up here to Virginia.
Right.
But yeah, that's what you get with what you sign up for. But hey, when you get a low price, when you get a bargain on moving, you got to go for it. Especially when
Absolutely.
especially when you're moving across state lines.
Absolutely.
I could not imagine how agonizing it was for you, Pink, to move from the fucking East Coast to the West Coast. Are you fucking joking?
It was rough. It was
And
rough.
now you're pretty well moving. Now you're pretty well moving from the West Coast to the South Coast. What the fuck's wrong with you people?
Yeah, that's a good question. It won't be totally. We're kind of going into the center of America. It looks like so, not quite as drastic as east to west, but still decent amount of time, decent amount of effort going to be put in there.
I still kind of consider it coastal in the same way I'd like to consider West Virginia to be part of the East Coast, you know? Like, by all means, West Virginia is landlocked, but it's still close enough, you know?
Right.
And I mean, it's Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. So I think Oklahoma is closer to the West Coast than the East, but I'm not certain.
Yeah, but it's definitely closer to the South Coast than it is to either of them.
Yes, that is true.
But to me, like, the Oklahoma is the West Virginia to Texas is Virginia, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not just in terms of geographic position, but also in terms of our country just kind of using it like for. I guess West Virginia wasn't too bad before the coal industry died. Oklahoma's only ever had troubles because that's just where the government seemingly offloads whatever they don't want, like Native Americans.
Right.
And Jim Ross.
And Jim Ross, exactly. We got to get rid of Jim Ross somehow. Mr. President, what do we do with him? Send him to Oklahoma. He went there and he loaded up on enough barbecue sauce to masquerade as someone else, and now he is the greatest wrestling commentators of all time, debatably. Do or do not put into Stone Cold, Stone Cold, Stone Cold.
Pink.
Right.
Once Pink moves, we need to sauce it.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, just cover me in that JR's barbecue sauce, man. Oh. Yeah. All right. So, the only thing I really got to do this week, other than just loading and unloading shit, was oh, you know, I don't ordinarily talk about food, but we went to eat at Wendy's for the first time in what feels like forever, and I'm used to Wendy's. Wendy's has always been like sit there as one of the restaurants. It's okay to me. It's not like holy shit, I could go for Wendy's, but it's not also like ugh, Wendy's. No,
Right.
restaurants like that, guys.
Yeah.
I don't eat at restaurants. I don't have the money.
Yeah, fair enough. I was rather pleasantly surprised. Wendy's now offers like a bag of just fries, chicken nuggets, a drink, and a burger for $5. And I was like, oh, goddamn, that's a bargain right there.
Oh, yeah.
So it was just such a good deal. I was like, fuck it, I'll bring this up on the podcast. That's rare you get this kind of deal on restaurant food, you know?
Absolutely.
Ordinarily, they string you up on the balls, fucking $10 for a burger, and you'll thank us for the privilege, asshole. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I guess I just wanted to mention that. But you know, you've had a boring week when you're like, oh, I should talk about Wendy's.
I had some Wendy's this week. It was really good. I should bring that up. Yeah, I've actually not been to Wendy's in quite a long time, so.
Do they have them on the West Coast?
They do. I'm pretty sure Wendy's is worldwide.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
I think they're not quite on, I would say, Burger King's level, but they're kind of up there with McDonald's, Burger King, and probably Taco Bell as well. There's probably some other restaurant that I'm forgetting, but I feel like those are the kind of the big four that are located everywhere. Subway. Oh yeah. Remember Subway? I don't know if I'd put them on par with the other fast food joints because they're kind of not as fast food.
Well,
but they are everywhere.
They are a food joint.
What?
They were expanding like mad up until Jared Fogle turned out to be a piece of shit.
Right. I thought they stopped a little before that as well, though, so I'm not sure. I remember in the mid-late 2000s, they were really starting to boom, but that might have also coincided with all that controversy. I don't know when that all unfolded, personally.
Jared Fogle was like 2012, I think. Because it was because that South Park RPG put him in as a boss fight immediately afterwards, with the joke being beat up a pedophile, or rather, have the pedophile make weird sexual maneuvers towards you because Trey Parker and Matt Stone have no shame.
Eh.
What was I going to say? Yeah, 2000. Yeah, the mid to late 2000s was definitely the Subway boom period, and that's when they were pushing the whole Jared Fogle "this will make you lose all the weight" thing. Which it's like,
Right.
have you seen the fucking amounts of fats and sugars they put in that shit, guys?
No,
Oh,
I've
yeah,
only
if you-
seen.
Lose weight
I've-
just so long as you do this long list of other things in addition to eating our food.
I've only seen a subway
Yeah,
in Budapest once. I've never even eaten there, so hey.
That's
I don't
fair.
think we're missing out on anything personally.
I enjoy Subway sandwiches, but again, they're loaded with fats and sugars and things. You know that their bread is good because it's very it's super white bread,
Yeah,
right?
I don't.
Right.
That is one thing that I don't
Quickly,
get.
let's remove everything healthy about bread.
That is one thing I don't get about how like food differs in freaking in the world, because like apparently from what I understand, and I don't think I will get this until I actually get to freaking visit America, but like if it ever happens, we need to put that out there too. But yeah, but apparently you put more sugar into your bread than we do. Because apparently,
Yes.
Probably.
because apparently we like put none, or at least like close enough that people consider it none.
Yeah, probably.
It's a well-known thing that English people will eat American bread and be like, "What the fuck? This is almost cake. What is wrong with you people?"
So are you saying I wouldn't be able to eat bread?
We
funny.
put sugar in everything. We're mad.
You
We're
put,
mad with power.
you put
Sugar or salt or butter.
Yeah.
You put sugar in
And
everything
most
from
of the time we
cookies
put
to
all three of
milk.
those things in.
Now we will have bread like Europeans do, but we don't call it like normal bread. For us, normal bread is white bread, which when you cut it open does look like cake. But we do have the bread that you guys do over in Europe. We just call it whole wheat.
Ah,
Which is code for we didn't take out the healthy shit.
but we also have whole
I
wheat
personally
bread.
prefer whole wheat myself. What do you think, Tank?
Whole wheat as well. I don't eat the white bread.
Like white's acceptable for like dessert sandwiches, like peanut butter and jelly, but white bread on like a deli meat sandwich don't work. You know,
Yeah.
it's edible. I mean, but whole wheat, it combos better.
Yeah. There's like it's a West Coast thing, I want to say. There's a bread joint out here that actually makes white bread with honey, I want to say. So
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
genuinely just sweet. And that goes very well with your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but anything else, do not use it. I don't think it would taste very well on like a chicken sandwich or something.
No.
Be nasty.
Oh no. I bet honey on chicken does taste good. Honestly.
Maybe. I don't know, because I use mustard. It's like honey is sweet, so it could pair well with chicken and turkey, because those are both pretty sweet meats, I would say.
Yeah.
Or at least not something quite as what's a good word? Quite as hearty as like roast beef or something.
Well, have you ever
But-
had Chick-fil-A? Because Chick-fil-A kind of edges on the like near sweet. You know.
I have not.
That's crazy. That's one that's all over the country again. Like, how have you not had that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Yeah, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, I was saying all the condiments that you put on it as well, that does have an effect on flavors. So if you put ketchup and mustard on a chicken sandwich with honey bread, it kind of clashes too hard, and I would not recommend.
Yeah, but I think the mustard's the problem. You know.
Yeah,
With that said, just putting honey on white bread, like you could probably just eat that by itself.
probably it wouldn't be healthy, but you could definitely eat it on yourself by itself.
Just put a couple of sugar cubes in, just to make sure there's some crunch.
Just get one of those big bags of powdered sugar like they put on pancakes and French toast and just
Yeah.
dip your bread in it.
Why?
Yeah.
Why would you put powdered sugar on French toast?
I don't know, but they do it. They've done it.
Is that not how you do things over there?
No.
I've never used powdered sugar.
What?
You take the French toast and you drench it in syrup, and then you drench it like you get out your bag of powdered sugar, and you have to spill a little bit on the counter. If you don't, that's bad luck. And then you dump it onto your fucking French bread.
Is French toast?
French toast.
Is French toast not a salty thing over there?
Maybe, but you don't notice underneath all the syrup and sugar.
Why the fuck would you put sweet shit? Whatever. Like usually
Oh,
when
Americans love salt in their sweets.
Just
Are you
clash of
kidding?
culture here.
I mean, I have fuck. I am an atypical eater. I had a fucking phase where I ate fucking whole wheat bread apparently with just cocoa powder on it because it had an umami flavor. Putting honey and like powdered sugar on a French toast is still wrong to me.
Well, I mean, what we love, one thing we love to do here in the States, and I'm actually quite fond of, is taking a bar of chocolate, which I prefer dark chocolate, like full on dark chocolate, and then put
He was silenced.
I guess so.
Big-
If you're
are you-
still speaking, we can't hear you. Oh, there you are.
Big chocolate doesn't want us to hear this recipe.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I hear you now.
Oh, I was just saying that I would take a bar of, well, no, I wouldn't do it myself. Of course, I bought it from the store, but bars of dark chocolate with sea salt on them.
I've never tried that, but I mean, it couldn't be too bad, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that I can see working. French toast with fucking powdered sugar is heresy.
Yeah.
Like that's
See, I wonder
the
if
real
that's
problem-
really an American thing, because I had some uncles down in Texas who, when they made French toast, they would make the French toast, but they would use it like a sandwich bread, and they would put like bacon and sausage inside.
that's how you make French toast.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Like you maybe butter the outside of it so it's softer, but like that's about it.
Right. Yep. That's more or less what they did, and I've had it both ways. I have tried the American version, and I've tried the version that everywhere else in the world uses, except with powdered sugar. Never done that before.
I can see where it appeals to people, but it's a bit rough. Not only because powdered sugar is, well, it's powder, so it's kind of difficult to work with, and it gets
Right.
everywhere. But there's also a problem of sometimes if it's particularly light and you inhale when you eat it, then you inhale powdered sugar, and then you cough like an asshole and possibly blow powdered sugar everywhere.
It just gets worse.
Yep.
Next you're gonna tell me that America doesn't have fucking powdered cocoa, so you can mix your own shit.
Well,
Not
like
anymore.
you just
Not
put in
since
hot
the war.
water and mix to make
No,
hot chocolate.
no. Over here they sell just straight up powdered cocoa that's not been sweetened and shit. Separately in bags, so you can just buy it and mix it into fucking hell. You can mix it into your own cocoa powder. Like you just mix it with powdered sugar or like proper sugar, which is the right way to do it, by the way. And
Hell, the only way.
Yeah.
The only thing I've ever seen cocoa powder used for here in the States is throw it in hot water and mix it up to make hot chocolate.
There's probably other stuff you can use with cocoa powder. I think we have it in our baking aisles because you got all that baker's chocolate down there.
Yeah.
So
Oh, well, we got everything in the grocery stores here.
True. So I don't recall. No, there's definitely got to be some sort of dessert that we've used cocoa powder with. Just not your standard Swiss Miss stuff, just actual cocoa powder. So I've definitely used it before. I remember for what, but that's definitely a thing over here.
Yeah, usually when I use cocoa powder, it's just for like, okay, I am going to get fucking just like, what's the word? I'm forgetting the proper English word for it, but I'm going to get kicked out of Hungary for saying this. But like, Hungarian pancakes are basically just crepes. So whenever we
I wonder if I would be insulted if I knew what a crepe was.
You don't know what a fucking crepe is, okay?
No.
It's
I'm aware
I
that
know what
French
crepe
cuisine is a big
I've
thing,
never
but
had a crepe before.
well, both. From what I can understand, crepes. But I don't know what constitutes as crepes because they probably wouldn't be sold as crepes over here because we have our own word for something that looks very similar, which is Hungarian pancakes. Hungarian pancakes are very thin, and they usually get folded, and you put stuff in them.
Yep, that's a crepe.
All right.
oh,
So yes.
interesting. Okay, do you like put like eggs in the middle?
No, it's sweet.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
okay. So some people do put salty stuff in them, so I guess you could put an egg in the middle if you wanted, but like people usually don't, and it's usually a dessert. And there's also a different ways you can fold them to constitute for different types of fillings and how they're supposed to be served. Because there's you can just roll them into rolls, and then you can just eat them with your hand, or you can fold them very very pretty, and then you have to eat them with a freaking knife and a fork. and
oh, I know which way I do things. I'm a caveman.
I roll them too. But yeah, usually when I make or when we make crepes is when I use cocoa powder and I have my own mix because I like cocoa powder a lot more savory than they sell in the stores. So we have to buy separate cocoa powder separately just for me so I can mix my own shit.
Nice.
Because we usually have that or like Nestle's cocoa powder and that's way too sweet. Like that is practically sugar. And no.
I can tell you which one the Americans prefer.
Did somebody say sugar?
And then there's
we're not as bad as we used to be.
I mean, like
for a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
For a little bit, Mexico was more obese than America.
For 2 days, exactly.
I think Mexico and America alternates between themselves every couple of years.
Yeah, but I don't think either of us are in the lead anymore. I think that in the lead now is a bunch of Polynesian islands. Like I think Samoa rates higher for obesity than the U.S. or Mexico.
Probably. Yeah. I don't know if that's a fair comparison though. I guess.
Yeah, there's a considerably smaller population there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like
interesting.
There's a closing thought on this whole cocoa powder and food thing overall. Like the other reason that I mix my own is just because like I make like the Nestle stuff is completely just powder. I make my cocoa powder with proper sugar, like crystallized sugar, and it makes it it gives it a really nice crunch, and I've always liked it. So like to me, cocoa powder is crunchy, and it should be crunchy. I don't know why. It like. It gives you this satisfying feeling when you chew into the crepes, and it's like cutting into sand with your teeth.
Yeah.
Anyway, so W.
I think we've got this episode title, by the way.
Chewing into sand.
Oh, I was going to say the French toast heresy.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And the last thing I really did this week that's worth talking about, because like the overwhelming majority this week was either working or laying down and thinking, oh, God, I hope that my muscles rest in time so that I don't look like a lazy piece of shit. And the last thing was I read through the original book version of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. I had seen the movie 10 years ago while in one of the worst sickness fits of my life with a hard fever from the flu.
Oof.
In and out of consciousness. So if you don't know what Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is, it's a story of Hunter S. Thompson making up a person who is suspiciously similar to himself, called Raoul Duke, and a Samoan attorney of his by the name of Dr. Gonzo, who is suspiciously similar to Hunter S. Thompson's real life friend and attorney, Oscar Zeta Acosta. Just changing the ethnicity, so he's Samoan instead of Mexican. And it's a story of them going to Las Vegas to cover for Sports Illustrated a dirt bike race going on in the Mojave Desert. But it's actually very little about that. It is much more about them going on various drug binges and running into the craziest places in Las Vegas and just general insanity. The movie is well known for having some of the most bizarre and insane visuals in, movie history, because it's really trying to depict things from the perspective of guys who are just about high on acid all the time. So let me tell you, that was an interesting one to watch while running a fever. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed the film because it was funny in an absurd way, because while by all means Hunter S. Thompson is of the counterculture variety who thinks, higher consciousness through LSD, but at the same time he's self-aware and he knows that, like, they look like a bunch of fucking jackasses in public, and he knows that they endanger people. And while Fear and Loathing does, of course, talk about the evils of the American government and so on around that time, it also just out and out acknowledges, like, yeah, we're also a bunch of pieces of shit who are a danger to society, so we're not much better. The movie is a very, very stupid, whimsical comedy, except for one or two scenes that I really enjoyed. So I was excited to read the book, not only because I see how close the movie was to the book, not only because Hunter S. Thompson is a rather famous writer that I'd never actually read the writings of before and wanted to see his literary stylings, but also just to see the book adaptation of a movie the book adaptation of a movie I like. No, the book version of a movie adaptation I like. And I gotta say, that is one of the most astoundingly close adaptations of book to film I have ever seen. Like, I'm often given to the idea of, like, oh, well, adapting literature to film is so hard. I understand why they change things. Then I see something like that where it's just like straight up the book in movie form perfectly. And it's like, actually, no, that can be accurate to the book. What the fuck was I thinking? Because, like, that book seemed unadaptable. If you read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, yeah, it's fucking insane. It's Hunter S. losing his goddamn mind for 200 pages. And, like, the overwhelming majority of it is internal narration. And a lot of the appeal is Hunter S. Thompson's unique writing style and unique internal narration. But the movie actually adapts it pretty well perfectly. And it's partly because the movie had the balls to actually just out and out have Johnny Depp narrate Hunter S. Thompson's thoughts throughout the movie. Which, of course, is... The movie was directed by Terry Gilliam, right? Terry Gilliam's one of the old Monty Python guys. He was the number 6 in their group, I guess. He was the one who did the least, obvious on-screen stuff, but he still did some important characters.
Yeah.
Like, Addie, you'll recognize him as as King Arthur's servant and the Holy Grail, right?
Yeah.
The guy, the one who had to follow him around and be the toady. Yeah. And Terry Gilliam, to me, does not seem like the kind of guy who is scared about the idea of trying to get the approval of critics and the high-minded, avant-garde film types, right?
Yeah.
And ordinarily, if you're the kind of guy who worries about the approval of those guys, you wouldn't have a movie that's mostly comprised of narration, because in film, narration is thought of as kind of lazy. Or rather, narration to say the character's inner thoughts is thought of as kind of lazy. Show, don't tell, right?
Yeah.
But Terry Gilliam has balls, and he's already had mass approval through Monty Python, so he doesn't give a shit about what people think. So he had the balls to just directly adapt it, with Johnny Depp going through the whole movie narrating the character's inner thoughts. And it works really well, because it really displays how fucking crazy his character is. And the book, I would say, is overall very good. I honestly would say the movie is better, which I realize saying that makes me sound like a Philistine. But when the movie is such a direct adaptation of everything that made the book good, and the book is good, but when the movie is such a direct adaptation of everything that made the book good, while cutting a few unneeded chapters, cut the fat,
Yeah.
and making a couple bits more gentle, and one scene in particular more harsh, I think it's overall the better product. And while Hunter S. Thompson's, version of the book, by all means, does a good job of painting the insanity of their drug binges and the sober insanity of 70s Las Vegas, I think that the movie's use of visuals and the very, very, very funny performances of Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro do a much better job of making the whole thing so just like batshit insane absurd,
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of really that I would say that the book does better than the movie is the movie kind of forgets the main theme up until the very final moments of the movie, which works out very awkwardly. The book does not forget the main theme, but all the parts in the book that state the main theme, that emphasize the main theme of the book, are very awkward scenes and chapters that really should have just been cut and had the theme moved into the parts that are actually plot relevant or at least more entertaining, right?
Yeah.
The theme is only ever stated in the worst parts of the book, which naturally they cut for the movie, which is the smart choice. But they should have maybe, I don't know, shifted some dialogue to some other places. Nonetheless, I did find one thing really interesting, which is that part of the whole thing of Hunter S. Thompson is what he calls gonzo journalism, which is journalism written in a fantasized, almost fictional, fully fictionalized style from the perspective of the journalist as a first-person narrator who is very much a character in their own story, rather than just an outward observer, an external observer as most journalists are. It's less so about the truth and more so about entertainment, I guess. And Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas is probably the most severe example he ever did, because of the whole dirt race out in the Mojave Desert thing, made up entirely. And then later they have to come back to Las Vegas once they get that whole thing done to attend a cop drug conference in 1971 at a time when the cops did not know what was going on with drugs, which all fit very well for Hunter S. Thompson's intended theme of talking about not only the turbulent times of the late 60s, early 70s, but also talking about the generational conflict between the baby boomers and the boomers, the generations that came before them, how the baby boomers tried to change. The boomers that came before them, yes. How the baby boomers tried to change the world and completely failed entirely in doing that, and just kind of turned into the same sputtering fuck-ups that every generation had produced before, and so on and so forth. Because that all worked out a lot more thematically than what the actual trip to Las Vegas that he did was, which was he was going out there with his friend, Oscar Zeta Acosta, to do an interview with him, because Oscar Zeta Acosta was a rather big Chicano rights movement guy. But they went out there, they did a lot of drugs, they talked some bullshit, and I guess along the way, Hunter S. Thompson was like, this insanity that me and this guy are getting into is so fucking entertaining on its own. I should write a separate, highly fictionalized book where instead of me conducting an interview with him, it's just me and him going to watch some fucking dirt bikes or something. But we don't really bother to watch the dirt bikes. So he wound up getting a 2-for-1 special on that trip, because he did still publish the interviews he did with Oscar Zeta Acosta as the interviews he did with Oscar Zeta Acosta, but then also made a highly fictionalized adaptation of their whole trip, with him and Oscar both replaced with fictional versions of themselves. I will go ahead and say, I'm not entirely sure that the book or the movie is either of your guys' type. I think that you both would appreciate the absurdity or the insanity of it. At the same time, I think you guys would be a little bit more offended by the general disgusting behavior they get up to. It's nothing like frat boy nonsense. It's a bit more, I guess, mature than that, but it's still very. While they are clearly self-aware about the stupidity of the drug use they engage in, it's still at the same time carrying that tinge of, well, I guess it's better than being a square, right?
Yeah.
Like our lifestyle has flaws, but the alternative is being a square, so we'd rather do stupid drugs. And the book, I think, is even a little bit better about this because the book even has a little stretch where it talks about how drug use is already changing at the time, because the stuff that they do in the book and in the movie is largely acid, mescaline, stuff that is not so serious with physical health threats, but hallucinogens, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But Hunter talks in the book about how things are changing with the generations, and as the baby boomers get older and the younger kids start coming around, they're not doing that so much. They're doing, weed and heroin, and Hunter didn't know it, but cocaine was also right around the corner, and that was going to be a big one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would at the very least say to watch the movie version just for Benicio del Toro's performance, because Benicio del Toro is a very serious actor who does a lot of very serious stuff. I would he's a little bit funny when he does the Collector and the Marvel movies, but that's pretty much it.
Right.
But he is pretty great at comedic delivery in Fear and Loathing. And he's got a very great line near the beginning of the movie when they are driving down the highway in a red convertible with a top down. And Benicio del Toro's character, Dr. Gonzo, turns around and grabs a salt shaker full of cocaine that they had in the back. And he opens it, of course, to take a big whiff. But since they're driving in a convertible going down the highway with the top down at 100 miles per hour, the cocaine just flies everywhere. And Benicio del Toro, with the most bizarre line delivery I've ever heard in my life, says, "Did you see what God just did to us, man?" The dialogue in the whole story altogether is fantastic. I would recommend just looking up on YouTube just the dialogue between Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro throughout that whole movie, because I think that's really the highlight. And that's pretty much the extent of what I got to say about my week.
All right. I did remember what I forgot about my week.
What is that?
And?
So, for the first time in my life, I had to ward off a fucking bat.
A bat?
bat?
Yes, a bat. So,
It's just
Uh,
how did that come to be?
well,
watch out, boys. Here comes a Fear and Loathing reference. We can't stop it. This is backcountry.
so
Sweet Jesus, what are these goddamn animals?
So I live on the fourth floor, or whatever, the fourth story, or of whatever apartment building I live in, and
Right.
bats like high places. So I have had a couple of run-ins with bats during my life. Usually they are also like the big freaking like completely grown ones. They don't are scary. But usually, like my dad would be home, so he'd just get them out. This time, both my dad and my sister's husband were absent, so it was just me and the girls. The girls were very scared of the bat, and I was very scared of getting hurt. So it's like I don't have a problem with the bat because it's just an animal. It's scared of me too, but like
Right.
But that's the thing. It's scared of me too. It's going to claw my fucking eyes out, and I would prefer it not do that. So, first thing, surprisingly enough, this bat. Well, I'm assuming it was a baby bat because it was about the size of a freaking parakeet.
Oh, that's tiny.
But yeah, so I'm assuming it was a baby bat. Surprising thing is, it wasn't shrieking. Bats usually shriek whenever they enter the house because they're fucking blind. Because, lights.
Yeah.
This one didn't care. Instead of the bat shrieking, it was everyone else. Well, okay, I wasn't shrieking about the bat. I did get startled by my family shrieking, though. So I guess it worked out. But yeah, it was like usually whenever freaking bats come in, they fly in, they get confused because there's lights on, and they get blinded a bit, and then they just like they go someplace, they sit down someplace, and then you can just like pick them up, and they get scared, and they probably try to attack, freaking fight back. But if you if you grab them strong enough that they can't escape, then you can just throw them out the window and they'll leave.
Right.
Later, fucker. I imagine Addy just throwing it like a football. Later, shithead.
Not this one though. This one was full of energy and also probably not blind. Just it was a little shit. It kept like it kept doing the freaking the thing that people do when they drive cars against each other, and then whoever freaking swerves first is chicken. Yeah, it kept chickening with us.
And you were the chicken every time?
No, that's the funny thing. So like during all of the people shrieking and all that, I had to focus on freaking. I had to focus on keeping my own internal fear down, so I could actually like function somewhat. But the thing is, when I focus that much on something, I basically move on instinct. So I got reduced to a fucking dog, and I just spiked the thing in the air. Like you know how dogs freaking like sit on their hind legs and do boxing with their freaking front paws.
Yeah,
I pretty much did the standing human version of that to the fucking bat, and I thought it fucking died. Thankfully, it didn't. Like I hit it, and then it just laid on the ground, freaking wings spread out for 2 seconds. And then it just got back up and started flying at the same speed again. It was comical.
I assume you guys had doors and windows open for the poor thing.
Yes. It refused to leave.
Was it one of those varieties that looks like a chihuahua with wings?
I didn't get a good enough look at its face, so I can't say.
Fair enough.
But eventually, we finally got it to freaking settle down for 2 seconds, threw a blanket over it, and then grabbed it with the blanket, and then just threw it out the window while holding onto the blanket, which is how you dispose of them without actually fucking killing them. By the way, I have the reason it didn't die, because my family wanted to kill them because they were so afraid, but like it's a scared animal too.
Right. And the thing about bats is they're not just flies that you can get with the supply swatter. Even though they're pretty small, they're still kind of beefy little mammals. So
yeah.
What exactly is the plan to get rid of it? Okay, well now we've got a corpse on our hands. What do we do?
Yep.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, like, my family were surprised because, like, I think I've said this before, but I am very afraid of insects for some reason. Like anything flying freaking bug comes near me, I run. So they were surprised that I stood up against the bat. But like, let me tell you, I am fucking glad that I only in a place where great flying foxes exist, because if one of those things came through the window, I am leaving. It owns the house now. I am not boxing with fucking
house is now. I'm gone.
I am not fucking.
I'm signing my tax forms away to this flying fox. You better have a job, you shit.
Have you seen what a great flying fox looks like, IRL?
I think no, actually, I'm imagining a big bat though.
Yeah, I've never seen one personally.
It is pretty much a big bat, but I'll see if I can get a picture up. But yeah, like you know, I ain't fucking having a an IRL boxing match with fucking Kamazots. Like that thing walks through the window, I am walking out the window. Ah, blimey. So yeah, that was a fun experience. But like, all right, Firefox, do you want to actually like work? Maybe. All right, maybe,
Possibly.
yeah, maybe you'll see the great flying fox. It's taking this long.
It's starting to sound more and more like an acrobat.
It's taking this long because I'm not actually looking up a picture on on Google. I'm photoshopping the face of Fox McCloud on I don't know the plane.
Yeah, now's the time to
plane.
hit us with the dank memes.
Why the fuck is Google taking so long to load? Holy shit!
Your computer can only handle one window at a time.
Yeah, sometimes it feels like it. Oh, blimey, bless you.
Isn't he that?
All right,
Thank you. That was one with some fucking echo.
Did I? I guess I'll wait for this fucking thing to load. Did I do anything else? Probably not.
I had my birthday this week. It didn't occur to me
The
until.
Oh, yeah.
largest bat in the world.
Yeah,
Is that
You did
something else,
have
I
your
wonder?
birthday this week. I was going to send you money, and then the debtors were like, "No, in fact, you will barely have money and have money to fucking live."
Yeah, no, you have more of a responsibility to living.
Indeed.
All right, give me a sec.
Yeah, so I spent my birthday moving shit into a truck.
Was it fun?
No,
I
see.
believe it.
All right, here's a great flying fox
I did get Mass Effect Legendary Edition. So
with Banana
the
Woman.
moment I can actually set my PS5 up, I am playing through the Mass Effect trilogy again.
Nice.
And this time, Mass
Great.
Effect 1 won't suck as bad. Oh my god, yes, I see. Okay, that is a pretty impressive bat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like one of those things comes through the window. I am leaving. I'm not. I'm not sticking around to fight that thing.
Bats are weird creatures.
I like bats. I think they're cute whenever they're not trying to actively freaking inhabit my hair.
Oh yeah, I'm just saying they're strange creatures.
Yeah, they are.
Kind of hard to explain. They're not very good at what they do. It feels like I don't think they ever evolved very well.
No.
I mean, what
Look at that thing. You think that looks like a pretty dangerous animal, and then it's like, oh no, the bigger bats get, the more vegetarian they become.
But like, what were bats?
Wild.
What were bats meant to evolve to? Like, it look really scary.
That's a good question. Why would they evolve to look scary? Because they're active in the dark. No one's gonna see them anyway.
Well, they don't
I'm
actually
telling you,
look
they're
that
not
scary.
very good at this evolution stuff.
They may look scary in flight, but when they're actually you see them up close, they don't look scary.
True.
Like again, most of them just look like chihuahuas with wings. I gotta admit, I'm not scared by chihuahuas.
But you should be.
Probably, yes. I've had two. One of them was as nice as it gets. The other one was a demon. So I guess that's 50-50 for you.
Oh, I just googled up the largest bats in the world, and the hammerhead bat is number 3, and he looks freaking derpy.
Post a picture.
Hammerhead anything looks derpy.
Hammers are the derpiest.
Yeah, that's true. I was always a bigger fan of claw hammers myself. Where that hammer fandom at?
My favorite tracker is a book.
What?
Tracker is another word for hammer.
Oh. All right.
Posted in the gaming channel. Let's post it over here.
Post the bet into the gaming channel will confuse everyone in general. that looks like a fucking dog with wings.
It looks like a donkey with wings.
Yeah,
that looks like a random civilian in Star Wars.
This is Watto's cousin.
Yeah.
Petto, Watto's cousin.
We just gotta wait on one of the extended universe guys to give him a name and a backstory.
Yeah.
I love it.
He also makes pod racers, but he's not as good as Watto.
Yeah.
Oh shit. So anyway, W, your birthday.
Oh yeah, just spent it moving things. I got Fear and Loathing from Las Vegas as a present. I also got I got Mass Effect Legendary Edition as a present. Oh, and the other thing was on oh yeah, it was on my birthday. Okay, yeah, on my birthday we did go to Barnes and Noble earlier in the day, which was the one thing I did that day that wasn't work. That was nice. And we picked up some books because I don't know if I've mentioned this recently. I think I have, but we've recently discovered the existence of the clearance section
yeah.
at Barnes and Noble. Oh, what a discovery! And I picked up Myths of Ancient Egypt and the Dark Ages of Europe, neither of which I've really got to read too much.
Ooh.
And while we were there for my birthday, my parents also grabbed the Aztec and Maya Encyclopedia, and it is beefy. It is the beefiest book I may own. Like,
Very nice.
it is. Let me go ahead and see if I can just take a picture of the table of contents, because when you see the table of contents, you realize what kind of book you're in for, and you're like, ooh, this is good value. Okay, here we go. Hang on, I am going to take a picture. Give me just a second. It's going to take me just a quick second.
No problem.
I don't know how high definition this is going to be, but
It's gonna be alright. I mean, I haven't been showing anything on screen anyway because I'm too fucking lazy. And it would probably make the recording, which is the actual reason. But you know,
that may only be a single page. I couldn't really see.
Oh yeah,
Okay, I don't know how high resolution that is.
it's high enough.
yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that's a beefy book right there.
Oh yeah.
Let's
The
see.
Sacred Way.
Over 500 pages.
Ah,
Oh
nice.
yeah. 510. If you reach acknowledgments.
Cool. Hopefully, I will someday. Someday. The neat thing is, it's labeled Aztec and Maya, but it outright says in the foreword, this book is only really labeled Aztec and Maya because those are the two we have the most information about. But it still is going to, it's still going to talk about the Olmecs, the Toltecs, and so on.
Oh yeah, Zapotec there.
Zapotecs, yes.
Mishtecs. Toltecs.
I said Toltecs, you fucker.
Sorry. I was just reading through the index contents, rather.
It's expressly focusing on Mesoamerica, which means there's pretty well nothing on the Incans, but hey, I'm sure there's a book for that too.
Probably.
All right, and yeah, that's pretty much the extent.
All right, the history talk reminded me of something. Though.
What's that?
So, I wanted to post this picture because it's very creepy, very much. But someone dropped a joke in the furry fandom that we've been around since the Victorian era, and people actually researched it somewhat. So here's what is allegedly the first picture of a person in a fucking fursuit, which was taken in 1893. And it's very scary. Yeah.
Still on my end.
And yeah,
No.
so apparently this was like a mime, a French mime whose entire shtick was dressing as animals. So pretty much a furry.
Yeah.
But yeah, there sure is a picture in it.
That's a quality made costume right there. Not at all an unnerving face.
I mean, it's better than the new Netflix show. Well, okay, no, not better on par. But But like it was also made like 200 years ago.
You mean the Netflix show everyone's talking about with the gay super spies?
No, the other one, because Netflix decided to piss off everyone this week. So there's the gay super spies that pissed off the gay community. They also hyped up a thing called like My Sexy Beasts or something that's supposed to be a furry dating show. Only it's not actual furry people. It's just people that they put into freaking like animal makeup that looks bad on purpose. At least I hope it looks bad on purpose.
With Netflix, you don't know. Netflix pumps the minimum budget into anything they can.
Let me see if I can find a picture of that then. Because you've definitely seen the fucking wolf guy that they made up because he looks horrible.
Was there not already a show Netflix was running about this kind of thing?
I do not know. But
I thought, but it was an anime, wasn't it?
no, you're thinking about Beastars, but that's not no.
That's not Netflix?
No, that's not Netflix. It's also not a dating show. It's a slice of life. So like I guess dating is a part of it, but it's complicated. Like it's not a straight up dating show.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's a couple of. So that.
Oh yes, I have seen that.
Also this. That what the hell did you do? No.
Yeah.
Oh,
I heard about this. It's not so much a furry thing as it is a thing that's supposed to disguise their identity so that you don't like get any idea of how they actually look.
yeah. But they released like they released a trailer for it, and like there's been a lot of freaking like there's been a lot of I'm assuming younger people in the furry fandom freaking like just posting memes and shit about people who don't like furries and like let people be, but like but even those people were like, you know what, they have a point, this shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like, the best part is I think I saw like an actual interview on like some news site that was like, oh, I saw the trailer and I was just so disappointed. A quote, and it was prefaced by saying, or like post-faced, I guess, by saying, oh, we did an interview with an actual furry. Like, I don't think we're that rare. unless you somehow got like the one actual person who happens to be like half animal, then you are that rare. But like,
That's right. We've contacted an actual fawn.
yeah. But like like the freaking the old dude's costume is very scary because it's not very well made. But it was also 1893 or something like that. And then you have that thing under it, and that's today.
It bugs me that it looks like it's made out of wood blocks.
Which one?
The old one.
Yeah, they probably used whatever they had.
Probably.
Oh yeah. The muzzle is probably made out of wood, but then it's not like freaking they had access to this kinds of sponges and shit like that people use nowadays.
They probably did.
I don't know. I'm not that knowledgeable about those industries.
They had it. It probably just caused lung cancer, but they probably had it.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I have lined my entire fursuit with asbestos. Everything will be okay.
Oh, and you know how this whole thing came up?
How?
Apparently the freaking the Google dictionary now if you type type furry into Google, like what's the meaning of furry, the first definition is about the fandom, and people were happy about it, but Google also shows you the trends, and people were like, wait, I get why there's a sudden uptick in the 2010s, but why is there a sudden uptick in the 1800s? and then And people just assumed, oh, they probably meant like, the small animals, because that's become the second freaking second definition. And then some guy was like, no, they might have actually been speaking about like the fandom furries, and then that's why.
I myself am kind of doubtful because
I mean,
like
I'm doubtful.
1800s
So is everyone else. Like so is most other people. But it is a funny freaking picture of like Victorian era English lords going out freaking hunting foxes so they can make their own fucking fursuit.
Knowing 1800s is probably slang for something we just wouldn't expect at all.
Yeah. I mean,
Furry, you mean you're referring to my exceptionally fat penis? What?
I mean, a part of this sudden uptick, because the furry fandom, as weird as they may be, well, as weird as the freaking vocal minority may be, they seem to do their research. So some people did look into a lot of the usage, and apparently a lot of the usage in the 1800s was just like typos that Google picked up, because people are talking about like snow furries, which probably meant snow flurries, as in like snow hills.
Oh fuck! I was just imagining like,
yeah,
Sonic Fox wearing a fucking lab coat and glasses over his mask.
Yeah, I mean,
with rubber gloves over the little paws.
I mean, you joke, but freaking there actually are like scientists in the fandom and shit. It's big enough.
Oh god.
Yeah. Furries exist. Not like, I guess soft joining the furry fandom has shown me that the old saying is true. Nobody hates furries as much as furries do.
That old saying, like Granny always used to say.
Anyway. I believe we can call it a podcast.
All right.
Oh.
Unless y'all have another topic to bring up.
No.
All right.
My phone will run out of battery if we go on for too long.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
What?
The mix-ups. Say bye,
For a
y'all.
second there, I was wondering, like, oh, Eddie's recording this one. Is he going to ask me to say bye?
I think I did last week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
My brain. I must have put it on the truck.
Say bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.